A person's last words can reveal regret, mystery, or even a final joke. Some leave us with chilling questions, others feel like eerie prophecies. But in every case, they're the final message a person leaves behind. From cryptic phrases to unsettling confessions, here are some of the strangest last words in history and what they might mean. Number 1. Winston Churchill. Winston Churchill, Britain's most famous wartime leader, was known for his powerful speeches and unwavering determination. But in his final days, he was no longer the man who once led his country through World War II. At 90 years old, he had suffered multiple strokes and had withdrawn from public life. Before slipping into a coma, his final words were simple: "I'm bored with it all." Some believe Churchill, who lived a life of immense responsibility, was expressing exhaustion. After seeing the world change drastically across his lifetime, perhaps he had simply had enough. Others speculate that his words reflected depression or resignation in his final days. Either way, his once fiery spirit seemed to fade in his last moments. Number 2. Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, the visionary behind Apple, spent his life revolutionizing technology, but his final words were surprisingly mystical. According to his sister, Mona Simpson, Jobs looked beyond his family gathered around him and repeatedly said, "Oh wow, oh wow, oh wow." Many believe he saw something incredible in his final moments, perhaps a vision, a profound realization, or even something beyond our understanding. His sister described his expression as one of wonder and curiosity. Could it have been a spiritual experience? A glimpse into the unknown? No one will ever know for sure. Number 3. Marie Antoinette. Marie Antoinette, the last queen of France before the French Revolution, lived a life of extravagance that ended in tragedy. Accused of ignoring the suffering of her people, she was sentenced to death by guillotine. But her final words weren't about fear, regret, or revenge. Instead, they were an apology. As she walked up to the scaffold, she accidentally stepped on the executioner's foot. Her last words? "Pardon me, sir, I didn't mean to." Some see this as a sign of her aristocratic manners, ingrained so deeply that even in her final moments, she remained polite. Others argue that it symbolizes how out of touch she was, worrying about small social niceties while facing execution. Regardless, her final words are a haunting reminder of how quickly power can fade. Number 4. Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci, the ultimate Renaissance genius, left behind masterpieces like the Mona Lisa and the Last Supper. But despite his legendary status, his final words were filled with regret. "I have offended God and mankind because my work did not reach the quality it should have." Imagine being one of history's greatest artists and still feeling like you didn't do enough. Da Vinci was a perfectionist, constantly improving his work. Some believe he was reflecting on unfinished projects, like his dream of flying machines or lost paintings. Others think he simply understood the limitless nature of human potential, that no matter how much we accomplish, there's always more to be done. Number 5. Elvis Presley. The king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley, was one of the most famous entertainers of all time. But by 1977, his health had deteriorated due to drug abuse and a poor lifestyle. His final words were painfully ordinary. He told his fiancée, "I'm going to the bathroom to read." It wasn't a deep revelation or an emotional goodbye, just a simple statement before an unexpected tragedy. Minutes later, Elvis suffered a fatal heart attack in the bathroom. His death was a shocking reminder that even legends can fall to the simplest, most human circumstances. Number 6. Edgar Allan Poe. Edgar Allan Poe, the master of mystery and horror, died in one of the strangest ways possible. He was found delirious in the streets of Baltimore, wearing clothes that didn't belong to him. No one knew how he got there or what had happened to him. Before dying in a hospital, his final words were, "Lord, help my poor soul." Some believe Poe was crying out in regret, burdened by his troubled life of poverty and loss. Others think his death was no accident, that he was a victim of foul play, possibly kidnapped and forced into illegal voting fraud, a practice called couping at the time. To this day, his death remains one of literature's biggest mysteries. And finally, Amelia Earhart, the legendary aviator who vanished without a trace in 1937. While attempting to fly around the world, her last recorded transmission was, "We are on the line 157-337. We will repeat this message. We will repeat this on 6210 kilocycles." These weren't dramatic last words, but a desperate distress signal. Earhart was trying to give her location as she and her navigator, Fred Noonan, searched for a place to land. Then, radio contact was lost forever. Did they crash into the ocean? Did they land on an uninhabited island, never to be found? Her last words leave us with a mystery still unsolved nearly a century later. Some last words are poetic, some are tragic, and some leave us with more questions than answers. Which one surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments. And if you love mysteries, make sure to subscribe for more eerie, fascinating, and unexplained stories. Until next time, stay curious.